Hi everyone, welcome back to our third and last part of our Simple Vault ERC-4626 smart contract. And in this part, we are going to deploy our Simple Vault smart contract on Rootstock test network. So in the previous part, we tested some functionalities of our smart contract, and if you see here, in the previous parts we written this simple old smart contract, and I showed you how you can implement EIP 4626 on how you can write this smart contract implementing this EIP, and what kind of projects you can build on Rootstock network. We also created this EIP mock ERC-20 smart contract, and we tested. I given you some assignment to write more test. Failed we written some failed test in the previous videos, and I ask you to correct this test, and if you haven't done, it's okay. I will give you source code inside this in the description of this video. And you can see here I have written some of the advanced test here, to test rigorously. Uh, I written lot of test here to test our smart contract, and I'm going to give you this source code, so don't worry. So let's run this forge test, and you can see here all 20 tests have passed, and there we go. You can see here test deposit, test emergency withdraw, test get alt info, test management fee. And also I have, to better understanding, I have commented uh, and give you some netcaf what this function is doing and all the stuff you can see here. And even in test I commented trigger the fee allocation, check the owner received management fee, and all the stuff. So let's go ahead and let's write a deployment script for our smart contract, and let's deploy it on Rootstock test network. For that, let's create a new file. As we create here inside the script directory, deploy alt dot. We are going to use the same version. Let's copy this from here and go here, and let's import script from Forge standard library. So let's import script. This is the named import for standard library. So let's script.sol. There we go. We need to import. We are going to print this in our console. So let's import console as well. Now let's import our main smart contract. This is what we are going to deploy. So let's import simple alt from the slash src slash simple alt.sol, and we also need to import mock ERC-20 smart contract. So let's import mock ERC dash slash, I think, test and mock slash mock ERC-20.sol. The VS code is suggesting us what is this linter undefined. This is just VS code, so don't worry. We need to also import interface for ERC-20 from OpenZeppelin. It will not make sense, but you will understand why we need this. So don't worry, bear with me. Import from token slash, I think, ERC-20 OpenZeppelin contracts slash token ERC-20. This is just VS code error. Callback not supported. So this is just VS Code error. It will go away. Let's start writing script. Let's name it deploy alt its script. Now let's write our main run function. Run. Let's make it external. And now let's go ahead and let's first get the deployer address. So let's declare the variable here, address of the deployer, and is equal to message dot sender, obviously. And now let's print the deployer and deployer balance first. So how you can do this? Console.log, and inside that deploying contracts we found, and we need to pass here message.sender as a deployer. There we go. And now let's also console.log, copy this console.log from here, paste it here, and let's print account balance as well. Account balance, this account balance, and we need to pass the deployer dot balance. We did this because we didn't queue this. Now let's format this. Expected this, what got this. We need to do this here. And now we are good to go. Now let's go ahead and let's start broadcasting. VM dot start broadcast, and inside that let's deploy first smoke ERC token for testing on Rootstock test network. And if you are using this smart contract in production, this is not audited, but if you are building a real product, you should use an existing any token address, whatever you want. So let's smoke T20 initialize here, and let's name it asset is equal to new smoke ERC20, and we are passing smoke test, let's say test token, and we will make it as a test here. And now let's print this here console, and we need to print more token deployed at, and let's pass here address of the asset. Thanks to Copilot, we declare this asset here, and we are deploying, and we are passing this here. Now let's deploy the vault with let's say 2% of management fee. How you can do this? Simple alt, and what we can name, let's say alt is equal to new simple vault, and inside that simple, and inside that let's pass, we could pass this asset, but we imported ERC-20 here for the purposes. So ERC-20, and inside that we can pass the address of the asset, address of the asset. And now we also need to pass test vault. Let's name it test vault, and let's name it test. There we go. I hope you are understanding what we are writing. And we also need to pass, since I said 2%, so we are passing 200 here for 2% management. And what is the wrong here? Think a wrong argument, but expected 4. Let's go back. We are giving 4 arguments, but why this is complaining else? Simple vault, let's go inside the simple vault, and constructor, we are passing asset, name, symbol, and management fee. Still it is giving us maybe this is VS Code error, and it's gone away. Now let's print this console dot vault. Let's make it capital vault deployed at, and now we have to pass the address of the vault. That's it. Now let's mint some tokens to the deployer for the testing. So how you can do this? You can do this asset dot mint, call the mint function here, and we need pass deployer, and let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6, and pass the E18 here. And now let's print this here console log minted 6 tokens to the deployer, and there we go. Let's format this to beautify our code. Where is the line 31? It is the VS Code here, so don't worry about this. And now let's stop broadcasting. VM dot stop broadcast, and let's verify our deployment. Let's print this everything. So let's verify our deployment. Comment this here, and let's beautify. And we are gonna print everything inside our console. So console.log, and let's first beautify this deployment verification. So let's pass deployment verification, and let's print here the vault asset. Let's console.log, and let's print here in some style. So alt asset, and here we have to pass the alt dot asset. I think, yeah, we need to pass this here. Now let's console dot, and alt name, alt dot name, alt dot symbol, console dot log, alt dot symbol. Decimals we need to, not decimals actually, console. Let's pass here the alt. We pass this symbol. Let's pass here management. Let's make it capital management fee, and let's also print the alt owner console.log alt owner. Thanks to Copilot for suggesting us, and there we go. Now go ahead and console.log. Actually, not here. What we done, format document, format this again, console.log young, and let's say rootstock testnet deployment info, rootstock testnet deployment info, and let's print this here, console.log. Inside that, let's pass mock token address, and in the right hand side we need to pass address of the asset. Not assert is actually the special function in Solidity, and address of the alt. So let's pass this here, alt address.alt, and the deployer address, console.log deployer address, and let's pass deployer and the console.log, and we need to pass nothing like dash to make it beautiful. Now you can go back here and let's try compiling for build, and you can see here our compiler runs successful. And let's format documents again by running this command forge fmt, and there we go. Now this is just VS Code error, so don't worry about this. And we compiled, we formatted document, we also, I showed you the test here, we also passed all our 20 tests. Now let's go ahead and deploy our smart contract. We are almost there to deploy our alt on Rootstock test network. But before going ahead, we need to make some configuration in foundry.toml as we do in every tutorial. So first, let's set up EVM version as in London, because Rootstock using the legacy transactions and RPC endpoints. Now let's set up here RPC endpoints, and we are going to use this publicly available. You can find it on Rootstock documentation. I showed you how you can search on the documentation. HTTPS public node. The Copilot is suggesting us wrong. Public node dot co, and that's it. Let's format this HTTPS public node public dash node dot testnet dot rsk.co, and we are good to go. Let's clear the terminal and let's run the deployment script, and let's deploy it on Rootstock network. And before deploying, make sure you have some testnet funds in our MetaMask in our wallet. So you can see here I am on Rootstock testnet and I have 0.2.17. And if you don't know how to get this, go to faucet.rootstock.io, paste your address here, check you are not robot. Let me refresh this, and now I'm checking this, I'm not robot. Let's verify motorcycle, and you can do this here, and you are not robot, get testnet RBTC, and they will send you some testnet RBTC. Wait for 30 or more, probably more than 30 seconds. It's depend on network to the conjunction of network. And you can see here I have testnet funds on my wallet, so this is more than enough for this deployment. So let's go back and run this command for script slash deploy alt.us.sol, and inside that we have deploy alt smart contract dash rpc URL, and let's copy the variable from here and go here, RPC URL dash account. I already set up my Foundry key store account. If you want to set up, so you can see here I got my RBTC. If you want to set up, you can go to Foundry documentation and you can go get started and search here key. So yeah, I already searched here key store, and this is how you can find all the documentation here, and you can set up by running this. Let me open the another terminal, cast not vast, by running this cast wallet, and you can see all the commands. You can run this new command to create a new random key pair or the import your wallet. So I already imported, So you can check out this on Foundry documentation. So let's say I named my account as an Pandit, and dash we need to pass the sender, which is this account I imported, and I pass this sender, and we also need to pass legacy, and let's broadcast this broadcast, and let's hit enter or the return on. If you are on Mac, let's pull this up, and you can see our contracts compiler runs successful, and our contract successfully compiled, and you can see all the deployment logs as we return this here, and it is asking the password. So I'm entering my password, and you can see the transactions are pending, and rootstock testnet deployment info, mock token address, vault address, and deployer address. So you can see the same deployment address FB9. Let's go here and let's comment this out, the address, the same address we have, and our deployment is also successful. Rootstock testnet deployment info, the deployer address is the same. I copied from my MetaMask on the vault address. Let's verify this. Let's check this on testnet explorer. Let's go ahead and see it is loading. So let's load this, let it load, and I will, let's go and reload this. Maybe this is my internet problem, not from the rootstock. And you can see here, see, and our contract name is test alt and decimals 18, and the creator is FV9 1 minute ago, and total supply is 0. Now let's go ahead and the mock token address, let's copy the mock token address and paste it here, and let's see. So you can see here our test token and the timestamp 1 minute ago, and this is the 1 million supply we given, and that's it. So this is how you can implement EIP-4626 and build a cool applications on Rootstock network. And now I hope you have pretty good understanding of this vault, how you can create vault, implementing EIP 26, which is one of the most prominent EIP in DeFi space. You can use it in different applications like lending protocols and DEX protocol, DEX smart contracts, and so on. With that, I am wrapping this tutorial, and I will see you in next one.